Hello and welcome to Right Now at the Comedy Club of Kansas City. I am Dustin Kaufman. We're doing this after the late show Saturday night. I appreciate you guys coming up. With me this week, Mr. Greg Warren here in the house, along with Sean O'Brien and Spencer Gordman. How are you guys tonight?
Good to be here, man.
Good, yeah, buddy. Yeah. How's now? You guys kind of you brought. It's funny, like, so you brought Sean as your feature, and then like he's like a house comic, like, you know, and stuff. So and then like
tag along,
right, and then like, you're like, we're bringing Spencer. I'm like, you're bringing my own comic? This is wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, not that he's mine, but you know, it's a fun. How did you meet Spencer? Actually, Here?
Yeah.
So you've been like,
he doesn't work anywhere else.
If any of you guys know somebody that's hiring, that would be nice.
Yeah, man.
I met him here. I think maybe a year and a half ago or something.
Okay.
Maybe a couple times, but he worked with Tim and I one time. Did a good job, and he's funny, man. He's getting better. He's very good.
You always bring wonderful talent. Sean is no exception.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
That was
very
a good weekend.
Let's not get crazy.
Yeah, man. I don't know why. Like, anything positive, anything that's nice to say about someone, he's just gonna turn it down, man. So you might as well not even say this, because he's just gonna make me look like a jerk. I'll tell you what, great merch town, man. A lot of shirts here. Even Spence, he moved the stickers. Real good stuff, man.
Nice, thank you. I've heard that people do buy. Actually, I've heard that it is a good merch club.
It's great,
it's great.
Well, we file them. I mean, it's designed. I mean, we file everybody out the side door, which puts them down the hallway past the merch table.
Yeah.
Like, nobody goes out the other door, so we filter everybody.
No, it is a pretty good situation.
Yeah. The place for the pictures and stuff. It's just, you know, we do the best we can.
You can tell it was all intentional. You know, it was all from the mind of a comic who had been to a number of clubs and seen the good and the bad of what all goes on.
Right.
What are you selling, like 30 items or something?
Me? Well, I mean, I think I sold about 8
buzzers,
stickers,
buttons.
Yeah, buttons.
Flea market stuff.
It is, man.
You have the arm the lunch lady stickers.
Yeah. Strapped up lunch lady.
And koozies, right?
Koozies are new.
Dude, the print on the koozie looks really nice. Like, it looks like it may not fall off in 2 weeks.
No,
like,
don't wash it though. Definitely don't wash it.
Yeah, man.
Spray it with Windex is about all you can do with that. But
those kind of, don't they wind up in the river quite a bit though?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, but you know, it's doing pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Now, Greg, I know that you're actually working on you have a special you're going to film soon.
Yeah.
So, like, I want to ask the question is, like, has anybody this weekend, I know you guys have been having a lot of fun, the crowds have been great. Is anybody working on any new material? I know you're probably trying to hone material.
Yeah, I'm at that, like, I'm like 4 weeks out from shooting something, so I'm in.
Right.
I've been sort of in that where, like, maybe find stuff sort of in between the jokes, or
just any like surprise taglines you get are a bonus.
Yeah, I do think there's. I would like to discover something new in the next 4 weeks. Or you know, you find something new every night, an inflection or just a transition or a word. But like, I would like to actually put in a new joke, just to continue to give it life, you know. And I to be honest, the last month or so, I haven't been as active in like generating material. So I'd like to. It's more polishing, but I think I need to.
Yeah, but you're getting ready to film it too. I mean, you're also just trying to make it as tight as possible and get the reps in and just.
I found something like.
Dude, I'm excited, man. You know, because the material you were doing. I mean, just to see you back in like a year and a half.
Yeah.
With like this brand new set and monsters. So like,
thanks,
you come off, dude. This is Greg, for real. What you're doing right now is so good. The stories,
thanks, buddy.
It's like writing and getting to the next special. It's almost like you just started digging even deeper, like into your life and your stories.
I think I had a lot of stuff about like wrestling early on, and then I sort of was like, okay, well that's done. And then this time I was like, I don't know what to write. I'm like, I'm gonna see if there's maybe go a little deeper on wrestling or find something else. Because you're a different comic than you were 15 years ago. So I'm like, maybe I can find something new. I mean, it was cool. Like on the last special, I pulled something out. I pulled a bit out in the editing process for a couple reasons. One, I didn't think it was totally right, and I thought that it got close to something that Joe Zimmerman was doing. So I was like, let's just
Not
pull
do
it
it.
out and retool it. So like that, that's a big part of the next one, like the beginning. And then late show last night, this is like nerd comic talk. But, late show last night, you know how when you have a smaller crowd, and we've had some big crowds here, but the late show last night, late show Friday, it was a little bit smaller. You need to be more conversational with a
smaller
small
crowd.
crowd. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to be presentational, and I have to relearn that lesson a lot. And last night, for some reason, I just got it. Because if you're the first show, you're in front of this hot crowd and it's big, and you're just like kind of going at them, and everything's coming back at you. It seems silly when you do that with a smaller crowd. So it forces you to be a little more conversational. So I started the set just with a different tone, same material, and I'm like, something clicked. I'm like, that's how you need to start the special. No matter whether
I like that.
That's great.
is like it needs to be a more conversational opening is the way to start it. Don't be like, here's my joke.
To treat a sold out house like maybe 60 people on a right.
just especially the beginning, because I wasn't the only thing I was like not. I mean, it's never perfect, but I was like, the beginning of this, it's good, but it takes me just a couple seconds to get it. The last special I had like a really good like short opening joke that was like, you're in. And this one, the first 6 minutes, it's a lot of stuff, but it builds. So I was like fooling around last night, and you can make discoveries every set you do. Like you can learn something from every set. And last night it was a really cool crowd, and I was like, I just was listening back to it. I'm like, that's how you do it, Again, this is nerd, boring comic talk.
I was about to say, Sean, you and I are killing it right now, dude. We are really bringing some party to this.
Man. I mean, I'm just staying alive.
What did you tell us?
No,
Tell us what you learned last night.
I know tonight I tried a new tag on something where I was like, I don't like how this is ending. It's ending week, and I tried something else, and I was like, oh, that's more fun. It's sillier, so that was good. And then
Did he get a laugh?
a different what?
Did it work?
Worked for me, and that's all that matters, right? We're not really in a results-based
I still think it's
job
funny.
here. And then just a different phrasing. Like I was like, ooh, if I give that a half a second pause and emphasize this word, it'll make it just hit a little harder, which is obvious.
It's
Again,
amazing
the
what
difference
just-
between 5 years in the lessons we're learning versus 52
No, what you're
years
saying
in.
though was like
Yeah, how long you been doing? He just said you've been doing this 55. How long you been doing comedy? 52 years.
I mean, I'm 56. So
That's what I was saying. You're about
Oh,
52
age.
years
I know.
old. Good save.
You started comedy, right, Greg?
Yeah, yeah.
What are you
Right,
saying,
yeah.
Spencer?
Me and
Fresh out the womb.
me and Henny Young.
Hey, dude, you brought him, all right?
Yeah, right.
That's true, man.
The day when Spencer starts bringing me is when I need to get out of the business.
No, some of the stories in here and some of the wrestling base stories are fantastic.
Thanks, man.
Like the coach, the homeless, all of this is so great. So like when you start writing a new special, like do you have a reserve of stuff you already know like in the bank, or are you starting from scratch? A little of both.
Well, I think so. You get done with this thing, and then it comes out because like you have this like sort of grace period where it's like you shoot it,
Right.
and it's usually 4, 5, 6 months before it comes out.
That
so
you can still do it.
So you can still do it because nobody's seen it, But what you need to be doing is getting new stuff going. So when that thing drops, you have to go to as little of the new stuff, the old stuff as possible. Now there's some guys like Nate Bargatze, like he's a maniac. When the new one drops, like you'll never see that material again. Like he just tries to go cold turkey. I like transition it.
Right.
I was about to say, do you have like a percentage
Introduce-
that you wean yourself off? Are you like, okay, first month is about 80-90% the old stuff, and then when it comes out, it's more?
I just dictate. I let the material dictate it. So
Oh, fair, yeah.
But yeah, I'm not that good. I'm not where it's like it's just boom. But the last one, I did have that chunk of material the stuff that I started with is stuff that we edited out of the previous special. So it's like, oh, that stuff nobody's seen it yet.
Right.
On tape. I mean, they've seen it in clubs. So I started by retooling that, and then there's like ideas that I thought I never cracked. You have stuff in your notebook that like you never cracked it. I'm I'm gonna crack it this time, and then
This time
sometimes you do, and then that the thing that I've been closing with is a story about me in New York City getting in a fight. I've had that forever. I just think that I always thought it didn't fit in the special or the project I was doing, and I also thought I was lazy on it. And it's like this needs a little bit more work. It's 60% of the way, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to crack this one where I can make it a little better, and now make it good enough where you want to put it in. You had a good set tonight. That first show, really good set.
I cried, man. Yeah, that was fun.
That's the best I've heard you do in a while.
A while.
Wow, yeah.
No,
I don't think you had to say that. That was great, man. I mean,
They were a lot of fun.
yeah, man.
I don't know. I could tell you were like doing a few different things with.
Yeah, very minor edits that unless someone saw me all the time, you probably wouldn't notice. But he's what he's saying is dead on. It's like these just tiny little calculations that I'm starting to figure out. Oh man, you say something and you literally leave out 2 words, and it fixes the joke like 50%. Like just it's very crazy. I know I'm getting very technical here.
No, it's
what he was just saying that too. It's just that tiny little tweak.
Yeah.
Or just extra pause, or I was over. This one joke I was kind of I was saying it and then rush it into it. Now I kind of just sit for like an extra 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And
3?
Maybe 4. Bottom line.
Game of inches, this thing.
3 or 4, dude.
What do you mean?
That's a little. They're gonna leave.
Really, man? I don't know.
Uber's ordered.
I think. Well, if you don't even know what context I'm talking about, man, so it doesn't matter. When I'm saying the thing about my dad, and he says Hidimi, if I sit in an extra second or 2, it seems to get a better
Second
reaction.
or 2, I'll take.
All right.
3 or 4.
I didn't know we were up here clocking me, man. Being like, dude, he's at 3.4 seconds on a pause. Throw him out.
3 or 4, they're leaving. Yeah.
Well, it's a
But
pin.
it does matter though. It does. I'm saying it took what that laugh was maybe a 7, and now it was an 8.5.
What I've been finding is like making a joke, making it more obvious that something's a punchline. Like I thought comedy was all about like trying to be subtle with stuff, but it's like if an audience is like they get in the meter or they see it very clearly as the punchline, they'll laugh harder because they just know that it like adds to it, I guess.
Yeah, I thought it was a little overkill when you did that. Like
Well, you don't like my catchphrase?
Yeah, I thought it was a little much.
For a second, I was like, did he really do that?
Yeah.
I was like, man, I got to watch you every show now, man.
No,
I just go, your turn.
I mean, for young comics, that is something that I want you to write down your set. I mean, and just make a red mark next to where they're supposed to laugh or where you think they're going to laugh. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they have no idea.
Right.
And what I'm promising you is like, if you don't know where it doesn't mean they'll always laugh there, but if you don't know where they're supposed to laugh, they're not going to laugh. Right. Like you got to know where you think they're going to laugh.
Right.
And that's I think that's an early year 2 or 3 thing to learn, or, where it's like, cause most people are like, well, I guess this funny thing, and I'm going to start talking, and somewhere I'm going to catch fire.
Yeah, no, you got to make it obvious.
No way they're going to laugh and then know how to take the laugh. Those are like 2 things that you really have to learn sometimes.
Yeah.
So like Sean, you're in St. Louis, as we mentioned. Greg, you're based out of St. Louis now too, and I mean you're killing it on social media. I can say your ticket sales are fantastic.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
And I know they do. I mean, because this is what your 4th time here now.
Yeah, I think so.
And like your sales, have just skyrocketed. So in the short time we've opened, and so like. And you're getting that with social media and just finding new fans and really like just taking that direction with your career. So do you think it's as important now, like to go to like an LA or a New York for comedy? I mean, being out of St. Louis, because you're able to be there, you're able to get the numbers, get the followers, sell the tickets, and kind of be where I assume you want to be right now.
Yeah, I mean, I love St. Louis, but I lived in L.A. and New York, so I
just kind of.
I think it's important to spend some time in either one of those cities. That doesn't mean that you have to live there forever,
right?
But I learned a lot in both places. Probably more in New York because I was a little better comic when I went there, you know. And I when I went to L.A., I don't think I learned a lot, but I learned about a lot of other stuff too, like acting and you know. But when I was in New York, it's interesting. I met some really great comics and some cool people, and I miss those guys. You know, my buddy Joe List just texted me today, and I haven't seen Joe in forever.
Yeah, we have him.
He'll
in
be seeing you soon.
January.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. He just texted me, and I was like, man, I miss just walking out of my door and going down to see Joe, and we both lived in the same neighborhood. And his wife Sarah's really funny, and I've known them for a long time. But there's a ton of comics, so that was cool. So I think you need to go there to get to know different people because they'll help you. And then I think I learned to shorten up the jokes a little bit in New York.
New York, you trim the fat. It's
Yeah,
the
you
first
trim
thing
it.
teaches you.
You trim it. You trim the jokes. And I really am glad that I learned that. But I also think when I came back, I realized that New York had taken a little of the silliness out of my act, or like some of the fun, some of the silliness, some of like character stuff that I used to do. So I was like, oh, and then I kind of brought some of that back in. So I felt
Sure,
good.
blame New York.
Yeah,
Because that's one. That's
maybe
one.
it was just but I felt like it was great because I talked to my buddy Mike Vecchione about this, who lives in New York, and one of the great comics and great guys that I met in New York. And we were talking. I was like, yeah, I got back, and I kind of put some of the silliness back into it, but now you have a little bit better foundation of joke writing underneath, and I think it really helped. So yeah, I think you should move to one of those cities at one point. I mean, now it's almost like Nashville and Austin almost seems like another version.
You had Chicago to that, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know much about the scene. I love I worked at Zany's
Denver
there.
has a great scene.
Denver's
too.
got a great scene.
Denver.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just in
So,
Chicago. And
every show people go to.
Denver's awesome.
It does, like whether it's a small theater here or a bookstore here or a giant theater or a bar, dude, people support comedy. In
Yeah,
Denver.
it's great.
It's great.
Denver's pretty cool. The only thing about Denver is like it is sort of, man, you got to go to the airport to go do shows out of town. You know,
You
like
have
if there's
to.
not
Yeah.
a ton of stuff around where.
yeah, once you get past like Kansas City and Omaha, like once you get past kind of the Missouri River,
Like
driving
if
through
you-
Kansas and Nebraska is.
But if you're a
desolate.
younger comic just wanting stage time and to get better, it's definitely a great place to go for a couple years.
And there's a lot of stuff up like I-25 there where it's like you go all the way up to Cheyenne, Wyoming, then Fort Collins, then Boulder, then
Right.
Denver, then Colorado Springs. Like you can just there's a lot of really good
Is he
scenes
just
all
talking
up
about
there.
geography?
What?
Is he just going to talk
My
about
grandparents lived in
He's
Colorado.
like, I know every city in
Talking
Colorado.
about maps.
All right, let's do
atlases.
states. Let's go.
just listing cities, man.
I
Are we
think
going to
he
do
just
the
named the
capitals?
List the
next?
city. I'll give you the
Capitals.
state. Come on.
Yeah.
Bismarck. Come on. What else are we doing here?
Yeah, I know.
Bismarck, man.
Yeah.
It's
Hot club up there.
It's North Dakota.
It's North Dakota.
Dave,
That's the capital,
Way to
right?
go, Sean.
Man, I had this thing with my niece. I'd be like, I'd quiz her on the capitals, man. And I'd always go, what's the capital of North Dakota? She'd go, Bismarck. And I go, who's saying you got what I need? She'd be like, Bismarcky.
He's only 10, man. He doesn't get the reference.
Yeah,
That's
over
the
my
problem,
head.
man. He's 10 years old.
All right, I got some. I have some roundtable questions. Everybody just take turns
Yeah, it's
answering.
not really a round table.
Sure.
It's a square table questions.
Rectangular.
Rectangular.
Yeah.
It's close enough.
Okay.
What was the first album? What was the first album you bought, and what format
Styx
was it
Grand
on?
Illusion.
A great
And
album.
Was it
Great
Was it
album.
vinyl? And then what?
8-track.
It was 8-track.
I think so.
Stick on 8. That's awesome. That was the first one.
Either Styx Grand Illusion or maybe Styx Pieces of 8, but I think it was Grand Illusion.
Okay.
Yeah. Love that.
8-track.
Where did you? Do you remember where you listened to it?
My parents, like 8-track stereo.
At the house.
Yeah.
See, I've only ever seen 8 tracks in a car,
Yeah.
but I've definitely seen 8-track players in a car, and I've had some 8-track players in.
I don't think I've ever seen one in my life.
an 8-track player.
Yeah, I mean, I know of them. I don't
What
know
did-
if I physically.
So I
like,
used to buy some like hoopties, you know what I mean, like and drive around and so like I had like an old one that I'm like, it had it. I'm like,
Really?
we're going to the record store.
Would it-
We're getting, yeah, man.
Really?
We're
That's
like,
old. Yeah.
it was. I mean, that was late 90s. I'd say
Okay.
late 90s, somewhere in there.
Would it be
Wow.
surprising if you heard I also didn't have an 8-track player? Is that really
How do you
throwing
have a
anybody for a
CD
loop?
player,
Yeah,
man?
I'm wondering
you're
if
14.
These two guys are big.
I'm wondering if
music
you even have
guys.
an answer
Yeah.
to this story. Like, if
I mean,
Well,
I
he's
went
a
to
big
the
music
I went to the
guy.
vinyl I went to the vinyl store today. I got a
So what
Aretha
was
Franklin.
the first album you and did it have a platform? Did you just buy a digital download of
Yeah,
something?
so most of it was like iTunes and stuff. Like my dad had a million CDs that he burned onto iTunes and
not the
downloaded
same
from
thing.
there. So I'll tell you, I guess the best answer I can give is like the first album that I like listened to and then I like bought more of that band was Yes. I listened to Yes songs, which is like a compilation of
there
their
we
stuff
go,
from
man.
70 to
that's
72.
great.
It's like
It's awesome.
Fragile, that full Fragile album, and You and I, Close to the Edge of that album, like had a bunch of that stuff, and that got me into prog rock. So like
Yeah.
Rush and Peter Gabriel, Genesis, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and King Crimson, like that.
Amazing.
Yes opened up everything for me because beforehand it was just
Yeah.
kind of whatever was on the radio, and then prog rock, and then I got more into blues rock, and it just that was it for me.
You want to know what
Thankfully.
Greg thinks originally what he thought prog rock was?
This is true.
I don't
Me
even
too.
know if I should say this, man, because he might leave. Greg, tell the people what you thought prog rock
It
was.
was like Hillary
Until-
Clinton and a guitar or something.
Are you, no,
Until maybe 5 years ago, I had thought that prog rock was rock that had originated from the Czech Republic.
he did. He really did.
I did. I honestly did.
This is real.
Dude, it's YYZ, but the Z's got like a hash mark over it or
Yeah.
something.
I'll give it to him.
Yeah, I did. I did.
By the way, Spencer jumped my turn. I was right between cassette and CD.
Nobody asked you.
Okay.
Stop. So first tape was MC Hammer. You can't touch this.
Okay.
And then first CD. This was a little different because it was like I was doing the BMG Columbia House. I mean, were you guys
Okay, I remember the
that?
Columbia. Oh, I'm sure
My
I
age,
owe
you
them
could
at
buy-
least 18 pennies.
Yeah. Well, they started. It was 1 penny for 12, and then
Yeah.
you had to buy 6, and each one was like $30.
And I never. I mean,
Good deal.
Dude, I'm 12. and
good
you just
deal.
sold
What are
you
me
gonna- yeah, I
CDs.
don't have a
Like,
credit report.
This is your fault.
Yeah.
This is your fault,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You just
Yeah,
sold a
it's the best,
12-year-old
Yeah.
32 CDs.
They're like, you got to pay with check only. I'm like, I'm 13. I don't have a checking account. I just put a 20 in the envelope and cross my fingers. What are you guys talking about? No, I was a big 90s alternative. I went I mean, I could nail 90s alternative, but Offspring, No Self-Esteem. I can't remember the name of that. That was the big song. No
Yeah, you nailed
Self-Esteem.
yeah, self-esteem.
They had a couple other hits, but it was that guy is like a genius too. I can't think of his name. He's like PhD level, the lead singer of Offspring. You should go. It's
They're
a
great.
crazy story.
I've seen them.
Yeah,
in
they're
concert.
bad. They're like on a comeback right now. They're going to tour right now.
Yeah.
I think.
What was yours?
Okay, my first CD, my first tape. I know what my first CDs were.
Sean, what's a
I would
tape?
buy. My first tape may have been like a George Carlin at like 8 years
Yeah.
old. or
Oh,
something.
nice, yeah.
Wow.
My-
8 years old, you're listening to Carlin?
Yeah,
Like an occupation
9,
fool
yeah.
or something,
Like
or-
when my parents got divorced, my dad let us listen to comedy.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
And they got divorced at 5. 11 years old, we were sneaking his Dice tape and stuff like that. So,
Oh, great.
It was, yeah. I mean, so Dice and George Carlin, we listened to a lot. Like,
Do you guys
all-
remember? Do you remember the
that'd be
first
pretty
comics that you
surreal to
listened
have
to?
Dice here if you grew up listening to him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That
So
had to
I
be a
had
nutty
him
thing.
autograph. So okay, when I said I snuck my dad's tape, it was a Kodak blank tape with a yellow sticker that said "Dice Man Cometh" written on it. Somebody recorded it off of HBO onto this tape.
Yeah.
And this was the tape I would sneak from my dad
Wow.
to watch, and like at 11 o'clock when he's sleeping. I had Dice autograph that tape.
Wow, that's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
It's
man.
on my mantle.
That's cool. Is
That's
he cool
killer.
about it?
Cool as could be, dude.
Yeah, man.
Cool as a cucumber.
Do you guys remember the first comics that you watched where you were like, whoa, what? Hold on now. What is
Yeah,
this?
I mean, for me, it was heard on a cassette tape, like on a Walkman. Sophomore year, I was on a bus trip with my buddy Stacy Weiland to this wrestling tournament. And he had an Eddie Murphy tape, and I was like, this
oh,
is
cool. Do you remember which album it was?
Yeah, I think it might have just been called Eddie Murphy.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember, but it was great, man. I can remember the bits from it. But yeah, that was a big one for me. And then
I want to say Stephen Wright was in there at that young age too. That was another one. I Have a Pony we listened to all the time.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good
all
one.
the time. Yeah.
I was I think heavily influenced by Newhart.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I didn't listen to his stuff till I was older, and then it was like I would listen like to the vinyls and stuff like that. And his cigarette and the conversations were brilliant, and they were a lot of fun. And luckily, it's something I haven't seen the Jerky Boys, but they were real prank phone calls.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like,
Jerky.
Yeah. Nobody's tried to like steal those phone calls or those conversations, and they were so different. And
I mean, that thing was great. I didn't listen to a lot of stand-up comedy.
I watched his show.
Gotcha.
I was that age. I was watching I'm Larry. This is my brother. Daryl.
Yeah. That was his second show. Yeah.
So that was that was my introduction to him.
Yeah.
So everything else was like, we're gonna research.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like I wasn't exposed to a lot of stand-up comedy other than that Eddie Murphy album. I didn't watch a lot of it. I was watching a lot of movies and I was busy with wrestling and then when I first started doing comedy, I was like, I should go listen to a bunch of comedy. And a couple like stood out. I'll tell you the one that stood out a lot was Woody Allen's stand-up comic, man. That album is insanely good. He has that joke on there that have you ever heard the watch joke from Woody Allen?
No, I'll go listen to it on my
it's one of my favorite
home.
jokes. He says, he goes, this watch is very personal to me. My grandfather on his deathbed sold me this watch.
So good, man. That's great.
That's awesome.
That, and then there was a Steve Martin album in there that I really liked too, man.
Yeah.
And I got a Hicks album, and I didn't love it, but I saw Hicks live.
Hicks, Kenneth, I love and
Oh, my
Carlin.
God.
I saw Hicks live, and it was one of the greatest stand-up comedy shows I've ever seen to this day. I saw him in a comedy club in Houston, probably a year before he died.
Wow.
But because I wasn't...
How was it?
It was the best show, one of the best I've ever seen. It was so awesome. But then, like, I was influenced by guys that I worked with because I hadn't really been a stand-up comic. Like,
Right.
I worked with Hedberg when I started out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I still think
He
that
was
may be my favorite comic.
when I met my girlfriend and we were, just listen to this, the music I like, the movies and stuff. I sat her down and we watched just bits from that Kinnison, that first special of his.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, all right, this is a real test. Because I'd shown her Mitch Hedberg and stuff, which is a little more up her alley. And I was like, all right, let's see if she likes it. And she loved it. And then she
Really?
loved Rodney too. I showed her
Oh,
Rodney
yeah,
stuff
man.
and she was like, God, this is awesome. So we'll do like a bad Rodney impression to each other. I was like, all right, if she likes Rodney Dangerfield and Kinnison, she's a keeper.
Yeah.
Kinnison is a guy where it's like, if you're a real comedy fan.
I'm just guessing. Yeah, she should have been doing tests for you.
Oh, she was. She was, but they were like, do you know how to communicate effectively in a relationship? I failed that one more so. But, the comedy stuff, she did pretty good.
All right. We do on right now we have a segment we like to do, just simple, 3 of your favorites. So just for conversation, let's go with foods today. I don't know, maybe I've been hungry. Sean, you want to start? 3 of your favorite
Greg's
foods.
doing only
Tell you
Procter
right now,
Gamble
man,
stuff.
without literally, I say it and say summer sausage. Not kidding.
You and your summer sausage, man.
It's not. It's horrible because it's like a high-end hot dog. It's just processed. Sushi, man.
High-end.
I love sushi.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than a hot dog.
It's large.
Or at
I don't know if
least
it's high
equivalent.
end.
Hot dog, sushi, and then if it's made right, a sub sandwich. But I'm not talking like corporate subs, like mom and pop sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like East Coast deli style.
You like that
I
one
could go in,
corporate
so.
sub place?
Which one?
You seem like a guy who would put vinegar and oil on a good sub sandwich.
Oh, hell, heavy, man.
Oh, yeah.
I like how it was
Usually you go to the right place. They make their own homemade. They have their own homemade dressing.
What's the one that's in
DeBella's back home.
That's a
Yeah.
corporate one.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Indianapolis.
not like Subway or like Jersey Mike's.
Where's
though.
the best sub sandwich you've ever had?
Probably Rubino's in Rochester, New York.
It just sounds like it's.
I mean,
gonna
it's
be a
called-
great
yeah,
I was
dish.
gonna say, yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Everyone there, I mean, they
Rubino.
barely
Don't tell me what's
speak
on it.
English. It's like
yeah.
it's great. No, it's great. It's like all the old time Italian people. There's cheese blocks hanging from the wall.
Oh my God.
It's
That's
the it's
great.
the best, man.
Oh my God.
It's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I'll have it in a couple weeks actually. So
Spencer, let's hear your gefilte fish wet drink.
Top 3 foods. Yeah, I was gonna say Katz's pastrami might be up there.
Yeah, man.
That's one of those meals where like at first I was like, all right, maybe some mustard and some slaw on it, and then you just stick a fork in it and you're like, well, that's maybe the greatest food on planet
Dude,
Earth.
that Reuben at Cat's Deli, that thinly sliced giant
Dude,
pile
You're
of
talking about the original
rolled.
Catches?
In New York, yeah.
The Lower East
Oh,
Side?
is that
I
the
was
one?
I was there
It's
in
like that?
Okay, so
I was there in May. I had
Cats
the
in New York.
pastrami.
Oh, so there's also a Cat's Deli. Cats in New York. They had the New York, and Vegas too for a long time. So like
okay.
that Reuben is the best Reuben I have
All right.
ever had in my entire life.
Here's 3 words back to back you didn't expect to hear. Reuben fun fact. It's from Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
Keep
Is it
talking.
really?
Omaha, Nebraska, in the
slower.
Blackstone. The Reuben sandwich. Freaking deli ASMR over here.
Say sauerkraut.
The Reuben sandwich from Omaha, Nebraska, in the Blackstone building. It was created in that restaurant, and so everybody's like, forget which sub place was like, oh, it's a New York sandwich. That was the commercial, and it's like it is born and raised in the Midwest, baby.
That's great, man.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Reuben fun fact.
I like it.
Clip
Good to know,
it.
man.
So Cats.
Clip it.
Yeah, man. That
Okay.
The corned beef.
Katz's pastrami.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I'm but man, they keep the brisket in the steam table and they just pull it,
It's
and it's
perfect.
so tender. They just pull it right off for this root. It melts, man. It is like, it's that texture of that corned beef is equivalent with the best prime rib I've ever had in my life. It is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
absolutely. All right.
So other 2, I'll go with like recently what I just have been getting like cravings for. Authentic Mexican like street tacos, so like beef cheek, beef tongue, like lengua, like just really good, greasy tacos. Like those are great. And then Ethiopian food.
Okay.
I just every once in a while I'm just like, if I don't have Ethiopian food right now, I'm gonna like run there until my feet fall off. Like I gotta go get Ethiopian food, man. It's so good. Have you never had Ethiopian food?
I applaud you, dude. I'm just saying, you like have range of like a guy who's lived 70 years.
Dude,
like the music you listen to.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. I'm
By the way,
singing your praises. It's
can
just,
I-
no, I don't think I've even had either.
Can I tell you, Ethiopian food on a Jewish stomach, it does not work.
Yeah.
Oh, is it code
As
red?
you would guess. Oh, dude, different color, but yeah. But it's so good though. Oh, it's so good.
There's like I like Indian food a lot,
Indian, yeah,
but there's like a meal I like the best. I like a chicken tikka sag, which is with
Spinach,
with
the dark green,
it's like his curry spinach with like the cheese and the paneer, and
It is
it's
pungent.
It's so good, right? And not everybody has it either. So
Yeah.
it's
Rogan Josh is mine. Lamb and this
also
great yogurt
that
sauce.
coconut soup is
Yeah.
amazing.
Chana masala, I would say, would be mine.
All right, Greg. 3 of your favorite.
Just name the one, dude.
Should we make him go
Don't
no-
even name 3.
No
just,
P&G.
Just name everywhere you drag me on the road. This is
No.
all we eat. We eat one thing.
You're not allowed
only.
to say peanut butter.
No, it's not
No,
that.
you can
Yeah,
say
I wish it
peanut
was. Where are we gonna go?
Jif 18 ounce, Jif 28 ounce,
Yeah.
and Jif 48 ounce.
Procter &
40
Gamble,
ounce.
man, through and through. Toe that company line.
No, I'm a big barbecue guy, man. I eat a lot of barbecue. Yeah, and I
a lot.
Yeah, I had it twice, I think, so far here. Yeah, twice. I had it yesterday and today, and had some really good sausage today.
Yeah.
Outstanding sausage.
Summer sausage.
Not summer sausage.
Yeah, he's not low end like
Do you have
me.
a go-to cut?
Where'd you go?
Meat Mitch.
Oh,
Yeah, it was.
I haven't heard of it. I haven't been there.
Yeah, it's a buddy of mine knows the owner, and we watched the Missouri game there. It was awful good. And then I was at Jack Stack last night. I've always been a fan of, and I had Sean and I came through Kansas City one time on the way to Omaha, and I was like, dude, we got to stop. They got the best barbecue, and we went to a place, and he got the burnt ends, and they were terrible.
Oh.
So I sort of have not like.
Oh no.
I sort of have this bad thing about burnt ends. And then
Really?
there was some burnt ends at Jack Stack last night, and I'm like, that looks amazing. It's just brisket. It's just really good.
Right.
brisket.
It's just
And
barky or brisket,
Their pork
yeah.
burn. Their pork burn ends are really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so. That was
So
outstanding.
KC's a burnt end. Like, is that kind of their claim to
It
fame
seems
for the
like-
barbecue?
I think so, yeah.
Sauce, smoked. good flavor. I mean, and then we have kind of a distinct.
You're talking for burn ends specifically, though.
But I think
just
burn
bar
ends.
barbecue.
I think you're right. Burn ends. Like I don't know if they
But
originated
people
here.
do
But
kind
it
of
is a big
associate
thing
burn
here.
ends
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Kansas City. Yeah.
And Jack Stack had beef ribs, which are really hard to find, extremely hard to find. Like I the best beef
They
ribs
are
I've
really
had,
good.
they were very good. I had some in Phoenix this year. This
Also,
summer.
their
They
lamb
were
ribs
really
and
good.
their cheesy corn bake. That cheesy corn bake.
Oh yeah,
That is my weakness right there, man.
yeah.
I gotta.
I'm a bit. I mean, I love Kansas City, and I love the barbecue. And St. Louis is not caught up to Kansas City by any means, but they have made some huge strides in barbecue in the last 10 years. Like there's some really good places there.
We're gonna talk about your Provel cheese sometime, but
it's a different thing.
It is different.
Very different.
Actually, we researched it a little,
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
so we know.
Yeah, we researched it. I can't remember much about it, but yeah.
is that 2 or is that 3?
3 cheese mix. Is that what he's asking?
He's asking how many foods have I done.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was asking about the cheese.
I know, man. You just don't get it.
That's 2 then. All right,
Yeah.
carry on.
If I need one more, I'm not sure.
Broccoli.
I eat a lot of broccoli, but I don't eat it like because I love it. I eat it as like a vitamin. Like I feel like you got to get your broccoli every day.
Eat
And
some
I will say
vegetables.
this.
Okay.
I should have said this. I should have started the podcast by saying this. One thing I appreciate about this club is there's a vegetable tray in the green room every night, ever since I've been coming here, since the first time I was here. No other club does it.
It is
And
awesome.
it is one of those things where like you can get whatever you want at every restaurant. You can go on the road, but you need to get vegetables, and you need and I'll go get a bag of broccoli every day on the road, and I don't have to here because there's a vegetable tray in the back, and
Fruit,
I love
cheese
it.
cubes.
Yeah,
and-
it's awesome,
It's
dude.
awesome, man. Yeah, it's
Seriously,
great.
yeah.
See, this is why he was a D1 athlete. No, so like
know
he's
what?
like,
It
you gotta eat
helps.
vegetables, and we're like,
I'm gonna take that as the comedy club fruit platter is his 3rd favorite food.
yeah, checks out.
Put it on, man.
You got to get happy about small stuff, and it's one thing. It's like 1 out of 52 weeks. I know I don't have to worry about it. I just come here, and I was like, I wonder if he'll have it this time because he's never not had it, man. There's a vegetable tray in that green room every time.
Every week.
I've
for
heard
every comic.
many
He's got
comics.
broccoli on it, which I think is a very key vegetable. You know, you get some green, you get some roughage, a lot of vitamin C. in
broccoli,
Yeah.
carrots.
Episode 8 of The
grapes,
Consumers,
cheese
broccoli.
cubes, and usually like a strawberry or blackberry or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's good.
Great, man.
Berry, yeah, we like
Love
to.
it.
Yeah, man, we want to keep you guys. You know.
Yeah, I just thought he was being a diva.
Happy
He was
and
like,
healthy.
oh, he's hitting you with writers and all that stuff now, and you're in the back like, man, cutting this stuff up. Like, man, every week there's a guy.
I mean,
hitting you up.
honestly, most writers are pretty chill, and a lot of writers will just say something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, we put this out every week.
Yeah.
You guys are.
What's the craziest? You don't have to say the comic, but what's the craziest writer item you've seen as a club or just in general?
Granola bars. Can you imagine granola bars? No. I'm
Yeah, I was gonna say gum. Oh, the struggle of walking over to the
nerve
gas
of some
station and get some
people.
Trident. Yeah,
I don't know. We've seen some pretty crazy stuff
Yeah.
on writers.
Yeah, it'll get specific, man.
Yeah.
When I'm working at the St. Louis club, you'll see.
You know.
Sometimes it'll be like,
Sometimes it's just
Poppy.
weird, like a mixture of lots of very specific things.
Oh, interesting.
Very
Like
you know,
real specific comfort foods and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
sometimes I just like it's just come on, man.
like
I mean-
I'd have to. There's things I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, you can't be too specific. Yeah,
Because they'll be like,
Yeah.
right.
There's just I
they'll
don't
know who the comic is.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe 3 of my favorite foods would be I always thought there was 2 kinds of people: ramen people and cheap macaroni and cheese people. And I've always been the macaroni and cheese guy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I think just as a comfort to macaroni and cheese, made well is going to be one of my favorite because you can do so much with it. Reuben, definitely,
Yep.
I'm going to put on there.
You're welcome.
I mean, I'd probably go with like a really well done, like prime rib. You know what? I'm going to go with my my grandma's spaghetti recipe.
Okay.
Just
Nice.
a nice
Yeah, we
homemade.
took a right turn there.
Yeah.
Shout
I'm
out
gonna go with
Bubby.
that.
Oh, man.
Grandma Betty's spaghetti with baked mozzarella on top. I'll
Hey,
take that.
that's
Dude,
sounds
I'd
good.
buy Grandma Betty's spaghetti from the store. Like if that's a
We sell it
product,
here.
like, I would-
We have sold it here in the past. I think we're gonna put it on for a season.
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Feels like a good winter time.
We started with it actually. We've brought it back a few times.
Oh, nice.
It's delicious. All right.
Do we do Sean's foods?
Oh, yeah. Summer sausage. We
Oh,
did the hits.
we did. All right. Well, so while we're talking about foods, does the 5-second rule apply to you, even if it's your own kitchen floor? If your food falls on the floor, will you eat it within the 5-second rule if it's your floor? Greg, you want to start? 5-second rule, even at your own house.
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna rinse it off? Or you're like,
I don't know. It's a really good question, man.
There's a lot of nuance.
Yeah,
There's a lot of nuance to the
there's a lot of
food.
variables. in this.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I got new floors now, so maybe I would do it for a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
That's true, man. You do, man. The next couple of weeks, you can just eat off the floor.
Ask me in a few years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sean, are you eating off your kitchen floor?
Yeah, I think I'd do it. I think I
Because it's
would.
clean enough, or because you're that kind of guy?
It depends if I'm in a mood. If it's like, if it's like at night, I'm angry eating where I know I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, I don't care. I mean, I'll eat with the fridge door open, like just
yeah.
open. Like I don't even shut the refrigerator door,
No.
sitting over the sink like a complete madman. Now, where I draw the line is if I mean something that's small and it falls in the garbage disposal, I'm out. I won't go back in. I thought about it. Like I'd be eating whatever, strawberries, and it falls in the garbage disposal, and I'm like, man, maybe I just go in. Like I thought about it. I'm like, just
That's
take it out.
wild,
I've
dude.
eaten stuff, but I did it. I did it.
Out of the garbage disposal?
Now, what about
I've eaten stuff out of the
yogurt?
garbage.
What about
Oh, well,
yogurt?
yeah,
What if
yeah.
yogurt falls on the floor?
Yeah, no. Well, there's a
cottage
layer.
cheese.
Here's the thing: is there's
That's
a
not
layer.
yogurt.
There's a layer on the floor, and you just scoop up whatever's on top of that. That's not floor yogurt anymore.
So are you're a 5-second rule?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Does it even have to be your kitchen, Spencer?
No, of course not.
He doesn't care.
I will
Dude,
eat
it's-
off this.
It's how you build your
This
immune
guy.
system,
Yeah.
man. I'm doing it like the 40s. Like
Spencer,
just go-
Spencer has a 5-minute rule.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's eating off food trucks and Ethiopian food. He'll try anything.
It's the
He doesn't
next
care what's on the
morning.
floor.
It's the, if it's still there the next morning, I'm like, well, the grape has skin on it. That's pretty protective, Like that's who am I,
I appreciate you making this humorous. My answer is just no. I'm not.
Oh,
gonna do it.
boo.
I'm not.
Which
gonna
is
do
the
it.
right
I don't-
answer. You
I'm
should.
not gonna do
You're
it.
clean.
We shouldn't be eating
Dude,
food off the floor. Just
look.
throw it out. I mean, unless you drop a $30 fillet, then what are we doing here? Like, why am I eating peanuts off the floor that cost me pennies?
This guy's
One of
not
my
a
favorite,
pig. Shame him.
Dude.
Favorite.
If I drop a $30 steak on the floor, if I drop like a chicken wing or a breast, I'm gonna throw it away. If I drop a $30 steak, I might fucking wash that. I might wash it off.
Wash.
My
Yeah.
buddy Mark Gross has this story about his friend's dad. They were at a restaurant, and the guy brings out the steak, and he drops the steak on the floor.
Oh yeah.
And the guy goes, "I'm gonna get you another steak." So he picks up the steak,
Oh no.
and he starts to take it back, and the dad goes, "No, no, 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 no." And he goes, "That steak stays here."
And get the new one too. That's awesome.
Because he doesn't want him to go back there and dust off the one that he had on the floor.
Oh, that's funny.
Or if
yeah.
anything, for proof, to be like, now I'll give you back the old one.
That's what he did. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"I'll give you the steak when you bring out another steak."
Yeah, he's basically holding hostage to make sure they're not playing games.
Because I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna go back.
Yeah,
there,
they're
you're
like,
gonna
"Oh,
dust
we'll
off
make
the
you a new
steak,
one."
put it-
Yeah,
he
they
goes,
just add
See-
some more
"No,
pepper.
no, no, no."
Yeah,
That
right.
steak stays
Yeah.
here.
So now this tells you a lot about me. I thought it was because he was like, this is 80% still a good steak.
No,
we'll get the
okay,
free
no,
steak.
No. They're gonna like
That's
knock
not what
shit
they were
gonna
off.
try to
He's
pull.
using it for leverage to make sure they don't come back.
Oh, I'm using
they
it as
have
more
to come back
steak,
with a new
dude.
steak.
You gotta learn how the world works, man.
Drop in the comments. Are you a 5-second rule person? Put it down below. Tag a friend.
Let us know.
Yeah.
All right. I got 2 more here, and we'll followed by 10.
Perfect.
really
It's not
quick
3 in the
ones.
morning. No,
10
keep
really
going.
Quick ones?
It's yeah, and then
You're losing me fast.
we're gonna,
Yeah.
we're gonna end with 10 questions in 30 seconds.
Dustin, I got to drive back to Omaha
I
after
haven't
this,
done
man.
a midnight show in a long time, man. And this is yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm fading.
This is like old
All right.
days.
All right, we'll wrap it up.
I think I can bet on Korean soccer, though, when we get out of here, so I might go do that later.
Good man.
Tell you what, we'll do one more. We're approaching the holiday season. You know what? Yeah. All right. We're approaching the holiday seasons. It's Christmas, So Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving. What's your favorite holiday of the year and why?
My mom made a big deal out of St. Patrick's Day when she was alive, and so I like that holiday a lot, man.
St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, I love St. Pat's Day, and I don't even drink anymore. So it's like it used to be like a big drinking holiday for me, but now I don't know. I really think about my mom a lot.
No,
Okay,
is
I
it
get
like
that.
is St. Pat's like a churchy holiday?
No.
Okay.
My dad
I knew
passed
like
on
the
them.
cultural
I
stuff, but I
think
didn't
in
know like
Ireland
certain people if it's like the Catholics, like people who like are into the saints are like, well, it's still a saint's day,
In Ireland, I think it was more of a religious holiday, and now like they kind of, from what I understand, it's become more Americanized over. Like we stole their
interesting.
holiday, we repackaged.
we
it,
gentrified
and
their own
it's back to
holiday.
them, yeah.
Nice. So we should tell them, hey, don't steal our culture. Don't steal our St. Pat's Day, Ireland.
Yeah,
I like that.
No, but I think it's it's always been like one of those bar crazy.
Oh, yeah.
holidays.
Yeah.
And granted, I grew up Jewish, so if that seemed like a dumb question, it was.
I
Well,
understand.
I didn't know, yeah.
my dad's side of the family's all Jewish. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
I understand about your mom too. My dad actually passed on the 4th, so like the
wow.
fireworks and stuff. I
Oh,
always
yeah.
get to
That's
take a minute and
amazing.
think about my dad and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
so
cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Sean, favorite holiday?
Man, it was Christmas is the easy one, but as I get older, it's actually Thanksgiving because you don't really. I don't have to do anything. My family does all the cooking. I get 2 or 3 days off sometimes. I have a pretty cool family, and I can just hang. Where the stress of Christmas, I got to buy this gift. I got to get him something. He's gonna throw it out. What am I get my girlfriend? Like it kind of stresses me out, the Christmas stuff, because I want to be a good gift giver. And sometimes I don't think I am, so then I just give gift cards, and
You get 'em-
So Thanksgiving is like there's no pressure for me.
There's pressure this year.
I'm
Why is
excited.
that? Why is that?
You got to drive me to Traverse City.
Oh yeah, we do have to go.
Greg, your gift this year is one of those salmon shirts.
Well,
you know?
I'm excited for you to hear.
He's got a
the
2XL
the
and a
opposite
small.
reasons
He hates
of Christmas because I
Dude,
think
I gave him a Snuggie once, and he threw it in the dumpster.
That was not true.
You did throw it out, dude. I swear to God.
You didn't
Bigger
give it to me.
step, bigger
Biggerstaff
step.
gave
But
it
you
to
did throw it in the trash. Threw in a brand new Snuggie in the garbage that said Kirkwood, Missouri.
Bob was
which is where
getting
he
to me
lived. This
for-
comedian was like just teasing him. So you just got him a Snuggie being fun. You think he'd give it to Goodwill or something? Right in the dumpster. I got out. I saved the day. Gave it to Goodwill.
The ocean needs
He's a
it
hero.
more than the Goodwill.
Thanksgiving
Didn't
is
happen.
is a really good day of like rest and food and stuff like that. Naps, sports, stuff, whatever.
Yeah, it's just
a
the
lot.
low key. I have nothing. There's no pressure on it.
without
That's why I
all
like
the
it.
overhead.
This year there is.
This year there's pressure. Yeah.
So Christmas is different as a Jew. But Spencer,
Yeah.
what's your?
So it's Thanksgiving. My family, like for 30 years or more, we've had this tradition with Thanksgiving. It's like a 3-day affair, and it all started with my dad when he was in college. My grandma always made Thanksgiving, and when my dad and my grandpa and my grandma were driving my dad back to the airport to fly back to college, my grandpa and him were talking about how it was kind of a light Thanksgiving, wasn't very festive or robust, and we think my grandpa said it was a Weight Watchers Thanksgiving. So my grandma flipped them both the bird and said, F you make it next year. And so my dad got a call. No, for real. Which is very up her alley. And she did not acronym it either, She was fully there. And so my dad gets a call the next October. Jay, she wasn't kidding. We got to do Thanksgiving. So they rounded some guys up together, made a menu, cooked the whole thing. And so that started Boys Cook Thanksgiving, where whoever, like, guys are coming that year. And we usually have kind of the same cast and crew of 8 of us. Come over. My dad puts together a time and action plan, and he puts together like the whole grocery list off of what we're all making. And we usually get between 25 and 35 people. And so Tuesday, it's Mexican food and grocery shopping. And then Wednesday, it's desserts and meat prep. And then Thursday, everybody comes over about 1, grab some drinks, throw on the football game, and we cook about till 6:37, do the whole thing. And it's just whole families together. And then like
Great, man.
my cousin,
System, man. You got a system in place.
it's incredible.
It is really precise. That's a lot.
It's amazing,
Yeah.
but
That
that's
would
the,
exhaust me.
Well, yeah, my dad by the end of it is just like all he wants to do is just eat the food, not talk to anybody, which is fair. But then, like my cousin was going to culinary school and he passed away, so we took a couple years off, but then just gave it a whole new meaning because that was kind of what got him into cooking and food.
Wow.
Was the Thanksgiving thing, which just started as my grandma was pissed off at her husband and son, and then it spurred almost a career, and so then it gained that extra meaning. And his sister, my cousin, we changed it from Boys Cook BOYS to BOYZ so she could she's probably still the best cook in the family. So
What's a Z for?
it's just to make it more inclusive.
okay.
It's now a gender neutral kitchen.
I see.
So
Thanksgiving for sure.
I'm gonna go. This is funny because I'm, raised Jewish. All of it. Don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
Do nothing for Christmas. So, but I'm gonna go with my favorite holiday is Christmas, but for not the reasons you might think. So for me, like Thanksgiving is great, family, this, that. You probably go to your uncles or go here, seeing people, paint on the smile, eat the pie, right? But it's a great day. Christmas for me, I never had to do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Chinese food in the movies, baby.
family's not trying to hang out, friends aren't coming.
Love it.
It's like the world's gonna leave me alone for one day. That's it. One day a year, I don't have to do anything.
Did you have something that you would like a tradition? Like for me, it was always Legos and watching
I
Monty
used to
Python's Life
send
of
my
Brian.
kids and their mom to California every year for a week.
Nice. Props.
Go see your family.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Not bad.
That's awesome, man. I love it.
And I just a couple days of just a favorite piece of furniture and recline whatever
Favorite
movie.
piece of furniture.
You know what I
Now
mean?
that's
Like-
that's
Yeah,
a
you
dad
got-
thing right there. Just wear that cushion out. Yeah.
Oh, dude, my dad had his chair
Yeah.
in the 80s and 90s, and when he was home, you just couldn't sit on this chair.
Oh, dude.
I mean, literally, my brothers would mess with him. Be like, I will sit in the chair. I'm like, yeah, go sit in the chair. And I mean, he would literally just look at him. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're not going to win. And then finally, my dad would be like, get out of the damn chair. Get out of the chair. The hell you doing?
I'm sorry.
And then, so we're just like, I'm like, to this day, we never figure it out. I guess it's just the routine. It wasn't even that good of an angle. Like, it was like a 45-degree angle for the TV. It wasn't even an ideal
he
chair.
didn't give a shit.
That's where he sat. Get out of that chair.
Dude, I remember I made that mistake
heck
one
you doing?
time. My dad, we're a big college football family, and so during the bowl season, December, like you got work off and there's football on from like 9 a.m. till like 1 a.m. So we always just sit and watch football, and my dad would sit in this one spot the whole time. And I remember I sat. Last football game ends, he goes up to bed, and I sit in that sofa in the fart cloud that just plumed up from it. Like I said, I stood above it, didn't smell. I sat down, it was like, woof, and I was like, oh my God. I texted him. I was like, you need to change cushions every game because this is getting aggressive.
Right.
Funnier in my head.
Probably
right.
Ethiopian food.
Yeah,
we
good
end,
callback, Sean.
I just want to do one last segment here. Quick, 10 questions in 30 seconds.
10 questions.
In 30 seconds. They're quick. We'll get through it. I promise.
Wait, each one is 30 seconds, or
What?
we do them all in 30
Spencer,
seconds?
I'm not asking you questions. I'm going to ask Greg the questions. 10 quick questions in 30 seconds.
okay.
We're going to have a stopwatch go. She's going to time us.
Okay.
We're going to start off easy, and then they're going to stay pretty easy, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right.
All right. Sierra, you ready? All right. Greg, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I got to make sure I'm on it, too. So,
Yeah. Spencer, this isn't for you. Shut up.
I'm going to go bet Japanese baseball. You guys have fun.
tell me when. Ketchup or mustard?
Mustard.
Mayo or Miracle Whip?
Neither.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Best concert you've ever seen?
George Thorogood.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Rocky Balboa or Rocky and Bullwinkle?
Rocky Balboa.
Michael Jackson or Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan.
Would you rather go to jail for 30 days or play in a polka band for 2 years?
Polka Man.
Are aliens real?
Yes.
Kansas City Chiefs or any other team?
Oh, nice.
Saved by the. Was that really 30 seconds?
I did not.
Yes.
Perfect.
Way to go, Sierra.
Yeah, you know what?
Way to go, Sierra.
We hoped that's how that would happen. I wanted
Yeah.
to save you from that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that
I didn't
timing
want
worked
Kansas
out.
City to hate me.
Yeah. You already sold the tickets, you know.
Man, guys, thank you so much. We got a lot of great shows coming up here at the Comedy Club. We got Doug Benson coming out, Bobcat,
Oh, wow.
Halloween
Wow.
weekend, New Year's Eve with Eleanor Kerrigan, and live jazz all night long. We got lots of great shows. Check us out. We're on Funshed's Thanksgiving weekend, your favorite holidays.
Bob Goldthwait.
Yeah. And you know
I
what?
said that.
We just did
Spence, you're in the weeds.
we just confirmed a really fun show, December 26th. 7 p.m. It's called Home for the Holidays. So it's all the KC native comics or people who call KC home
yeah, man.
who are living in like New York,
Who's
LA,
coming in,
Denver.
man?
So right now confirmed we have Mike Kaplan, Aaron Branch, Dorian DeBose, Dayton Bissett, Bry Welts, and Scott Schaefer.
Nice.
And
Mike Kaplan's from Kansas City.
his wife is, and they're here every year.
That's awesome.
They're
man.
always
dude is
here.
a great dude, great comic.
But and maybe we might get lucky with a couple special appearances, and we're putting feelers out to see who else we can get as well.
That's awesome.
We're gonna see how crazy we can make this happen. But
That's great.
right now, awesome show. That's kind of our Christmas show. We didn't want to do a bit. That's our theme we're not going to do the roast of Santa. It's home for the holidays. For people who are continuing to put Kansas City in the map out where it matters and stuff like that. So
Awesome.
So yeah, guys, thank you so much. Follow us at thecomedyclubkc.com. Greg, where can they find you?
GregWarrenComedy.com.
Sean?
You can also find me at gregwarrencomedy.com because I
No.
open for him. So just find him and you'll find me. No, I just use Instagram. That's Sean O'Brien.
You can find Spencer at Cat's Deli,
Yeah.
getting the pastrami.
Yeah, bingo.
What's your social?
Spencer_Gordman. Pretty easy. Do you guys want to plug the podcast you guys got going on? We kind of dipped into the food talk, but like,
You have a brand new podcast.
Yeah, you gotta
that's
get that
killing
going.
it. I love it. Quick, tell them about the podcast.
It's called The Consumers. We do a deep dive on one brand every week, and it's Sean, myself, and a guy named Tim Convey, and we do it out of St. Louis, and it's pretty fun, man. It's a hopefully you'll laugh, you'll be
I
entertained.
love the concept.
Yeah.
You take one product every week, and then you guys break down that one product.
Yeah. You'll learn some things, and
It sounds like a lot of fun.
a couple times you'll be like, I don't think those guys are right about that.
Awesome. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Get tickets to comedyclubkc.com. We'll see you out here. Bye, guys.
thank you.